The New Hampshire primaries are tonight, and we'll be hearing from Gabrielle Caracciolo and Conor Wight, who are at some of the watch parties, in a bit. But first, let's break down some of what has happened so far.
According to the new Monmouth University national poll, Bernie Sanders has taken the lead over Joe Biden with a 26% of Democrat support. Biden announcing this morning he will not stay for his election party in New Hampshire. Rather, he will be leaving for South Carolina.
So far, 1% of the New Hampshire precincts have reported results. Amy Klobuchar is in the lead with 29.6% of the vote.
This primary election comes after the chaotic Iowa caucuses, where Pete Buttigieg won 26.2% of the vote, followed closely behind by Bernie Sanders.
Several of our Citrus TV reporters have been in New Hampshire this past week covering the events leading up to tonight's primary. We now go to Pete Buttigieg's watch party at Nashua Community College, where our Citrus TV reporter Gabrielle Caracciolo is live. Gabrielle, how's the past week of covering events been?
It's been a busy week here in New Hampshire as candidates are traveling all across the state, trying to talk to as many potential voters as possible ahead of today's first in the nation primary. Citrus TV has bringing you coverage of that all week. We've shown you candidates who didn't qualify for Friday night's debate, a unique libertarian candidate who already won his party's non-binding primary, and people who have traveled from out of state just to come here and see the presidential hopefuls. Now today, as people are still casting their ballots, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of how a new tablet system is helping people with disabilities to cast their ballots.
Kamala Harris, Los Angeles, California.
As voters prepare to head to the polls, Nancy Druk is working to make sure voting is easy and accessible for people with disabilities. The tablet system, One for All, makes it possible for someone who is visually impaired to vote by listening.
So often people with disabilities have some other system to use, and they created this system with the idea that everybody can use it. What would happen is the poll worker would initiate it. So as the voter, you wouldn't use it until it starts talking.
In the polling booth, a voter would wear headphones for privacy, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we used a speaker.
The right arrow key and the left arrow key are the only keys that you would use in addition to the enter button.
Elizabeth Warren, Robbie Wells, Marianne Williamson.
You press the arrows to listen to each candidate's name and enter to select your vote. It's relatively easy to get on the ballot in New Hampshire, so there may be a few names you don't recognize. There's even a space at the end for write-ins.
For the first time, every polling place will be able to print the ballot on the regular ballot that we all use. Compared to the previous elections, the ballot was just printed on copy paper. This system, other than being plugged in, there is nothing connected to it whatsoever. It's not connected to the internet. It's not connected. So it's a very secure system. It literally is just plugged in.
Not to worry, the machine we used for demonstration will not be heading out to a polling place. Those machines are kept under lock and key by the state. Reporting in New Hampshire, I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo.
Now, that system is unique to New Hampshire. Each state has a slightly different system, so if you are voting back in Syracuse, you may have a little bit of a different experience from what we just showed you.
And Gabrielle, you're at Pete Buttigieg's party right now. What's the atmosphere like there?
Well, the doors are expected to open for the general public at 7 p.m., so in about 45 minutes. Right now, we just have press and some campaign staffers inside. But as you can see behind me, this stage is set. Mayor Pete Buttigieg is expected to speak here at some point tonight. And the results tonight are going to have an increased importance after the confusion from the results of the Iowa caucus. So we will have what Mayor Pete says and those results for you at Citrus TV News on Twitter. Reporting in Nashua, New Hampshire, I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Next, we go inside a watch party for Amy Klobuchar in Concord, New Hampshire. Klobuchar trailed behind 4 other candidates in the Iowa caucus, coming in with 1 delegate. We now go to the Garpone Conference Center in Concord, New Hampshire, where our Conor Wight reports. Conor, what's it looking like out there?
Right, guys, I'm here at the election night watch party for Senator Amy Klobuchar. The campaign had it all to do after an apparent fifth-place finish in Iowa. But Klobuchar said that she defied expectations there, and they expected to do the same in New Hampshire. They've kept up a constant theme this week of momentum, and it all seemed to come to a head on Friday night during ABC News' Democratic debate. There, a lot of analysts said that she won that debate, and we have some numbers to back that up. In the 24 hours after the debate ended, the campaign raised over $2 million, and just this weekend she had an event in Nashua, New Hampshire, with over 1,000 people in attendance, Klobuchar's largest event in New Hampshire. Now, recent polls show that she's launched into third place ahead of former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Elizabeth Warren. Now, of course, we know historically these polls aren't always accurate. We'll have to see what actual results come to fruition tonight. In Concord, New Hampshire, I'm Conor Wight.